What's going on, folks? How's it going? Let me just fix this. You're gonna hear some outside interference. Get the windows open. It's a shitty day out. It's raining, and but you know what? It's cool, and it's a lot better than roasting in 40-degree humidity. So yeah. Anyways, it's nice. Uh, Popped in here. Yeah, the afternoon haze. It's I wasn't going to do it today, but I figured, hey, let's do it. I got a little bit of time. Hey, Ryan, how are you? We did a show last night. Well, kind of on the run. We figured we'd pop in and sort of like give a glimpse as to what's going on with the upcoming season. There's going to be a lot of changes, and because simply because of the when you start monetizing, we haven't monetized yet, but we're on the cusp of it. But we're going to have to change a few things, and obviously the classifying as 18 plus, simply because we swear a lot. We do. I mean, we got foul mouths, I think, and unless we tone it down, I just don't think it's us if we toned it down, sort of speak. And I don't know, but anyways, this particular aspect of the afternoon haze, I'm going to move this to my personal YouTube channel and keep it separate from the show itself. So, I mean, if you guys want to continue to pop into the afternoon haze, because I'll probably still do it maybe Mondays and possibly Thursdays around the same time, 12:30 in the afternoon here, which is what, 5:30 in the UK, something like that. So I don't know. You know, Snow skiing, yeah. Why would you be afraid of snow skiing? Why? Why? Are you afraid of the snow? I like that. I ain't afraid of anything. I ain't afraid of anything. Are you afraid of the snow? Does the snow frighten you? Anyways, yeah. So probably, hey, Mr. Wills, how are you? Good to see you. Always great to see you. So this aspect of it, of this here, I'll probably move the afternoon haze to my personal YouTube channel, because it's not monetized, and you don't have to worry about you know. I'm afraid of sucking. Uh, I suck at skiing too. I suck at skiing. I'm not the best skier. Never have been. Snowboarder, whatever. I just, I don't know. And yeah, I'm kind of like you with the tree bit. Yeah, yeah. Trees aren't the best friend, that's for sure. I've seen a lot of people wipe out and hit trees, and it's not fun. It's not. It's not a pretty sight. But anyways, yeah, and I think with this, we're gonna keep this to what we're here to talk about, like with Nocturnal Frequency Radio, and that is the paranormal and everything related to it. So yeah, exactly. Bono, yeah, he found out. Going to, I'm not gonna bother talking about fucking politics and shit like that. I can't stand it. It's just bullshit. Everyone's got their view, and fine. Just, keep it to yourselves. I don't even want to talk about politics. right? I mean, it just to be honest, it ruins everything. You can't have a good conversation when you start talking about shit. Paranormal politics. Yeah, it's been done to death. It's been done to death. You know what I mean? Politics and paranormal politics. More like paranormal drama, like drama. Period. You know, it's like drama everywhere. You know, just where does it get anybody? Nowhere. So, I wanna apologize for my sort of, I guess, ignorance last night during the show. It kind of got a little spun, and I just if I offended anybody, I'd like to apologize. And you know, I'm definitely that's not what the show is all about. So I would just like to apologize first and for foremost on last night's show because I don't know. I just I think it's, you know, we're not even going to get into that arena because I mean, leave it to the people who talk about that here on YouTube or anything else. That's their forte. Then great, leave it to them. You want to talk politics, or you want to go, you know, listen to politics or whatever else. Go to those shows. We're not dealing with it. There's no point. You know, we've never in the past, and we're not going to now. There's no point. Let's see. Well, that's cool. The Bridgewater Triangle, huh? Yeah, the Bridgewater Triangle is a pretty cool area and interesting history. We've had Christopher Balzano on the show a few times to talk about the Bridgewater and its history and the stories related to it. Fascinating, fascinating. It's always been one of my favorite sort of, you know, mysterious sort of intrigues of the paranormal. And it's because it's multifaceted. Like, I mean, you know, not just, you know, the paranormal, yes, cryptozoology, ufology. I mean, in true crime, you know what? There's so much stuff that has happened within the, you know, that, you know, designated area that they call the Bridgewater Triangle. So, what is it? The oh, what is it? Oh man, it's eluding my the house, the famous house there. Not the is it the Velisca? No, it's not the Velisca. What? There's a house. And maybe it is the Axe murder house. I don't know. I can't remember. There's a house within the triangle too that's reported to be, you know, to be haunted. You know, Oliver House. Is it the Oliver House? I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. And you know, but yeah. Anyways, the Bridgewater Triangle. That's cool. And you know, we've covered it a few times over the years. Like I said, you know, our good friend Christopher Balzano has been on the talk. It's called the house that Steve can't remember. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Exactly. I can't remember. Is it? Is it? I think it might be the Velisca house. I don't know. Let me just see. I'm wrong. It's not the Velisca because that's. Hold on. No. No, it's not the Villisca Axe Murder House. It's not that one. Hey, Safari, how are you? Good to see you. Um, well, that's another aspect of it too, right? The whole native importance to its history. I mean, the burial mounds, and one thing in particular that seems to have been a part of that area for thousands of years, and that's the puckwudge puckwudgies. People, what exactly is that? Yeah, these little fucking evil trolls that the natives called puckwudgies, and they were evil, man. So I mean, we've talked about those guys a few times here. It's is it like a crypto sort of thing? Who knows? I like 40 miles from your like, so you are. I'm just reading here. So interesting, Ryan. Now it's apple juice. I don't drink beer. Can't drink beer live on these. It's apple juice. Ah, paramounts that are about. So, anyways, yeah, that I'm I'm gonna move this to the my personal account, where I've done. I don't know. I mean, do you guys really want the afternoon haze Mondays and Thursdays here, staying here? I don't know. I mean, I'm not really getting any much response, so it doesn't really matter, I think, if I move it or not. It's just a matter of you guys wanting to watch and be a part of it. Then you go to the other channel. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, there was some I guess misunderstanding last night too, when there was a misunderstanding that we're going to start charging to watch this show. No, no, we're not charging anybody anything. That's a misnomer. No, no, we're not going to charge people to watch. It's going to continue to be free. All we're wanting to do is to have one show, one special event sort of thing to help us, uh, you know, generate some money to help us with stuff like StreamYard and the radio network. I mean, we've been paying out of pocket since we started this sucker up, man, and we've never asked anybody for money, never. And something I don't like doing, but I mean, it's getting tough. I mean, in terms of in terms of what they want to charge now for this stuff is just insane. It's ludicrous. It doesn't make sense. But I mean, pretty much all the options are the same, and even the free stuff is just, I don't know. So I mean, we're weighing all our options, obviously. That, yeah, exactly. With research and what else? We're switching. Yeah, we're moving our merch store because I mean we've had a lot of problems with Not a members only stream yet because we haven't started the monetization thing yet, Safari. So this is probably just going to be, hey, you want to pay 5, 10, just as whatever, 5, 10 bucks, whatever, and we'll provide you with a link. We'll provide you with a link to come in and watch or whatever else, a private thing or whatever. I don't know. We haven't determined yet exactly how we're going to do this. And I mean, there's some people, suggesting, oh, well, why don't you do like a 24-hour investigation thon? Like, I mean, I don't know how we're going to do it, what we're going to do with it. But I mean, all in all, it's just a one off to help us generate some cash for to pay, StreamYard and everything else, just to kick off the new season and just make it a little easier with a few things. That's all. That's all that is. We're not going to charge people to watch all the shows now. No, we would never do that. So I mean, that's not even a given. So we've just a couple more guests have. Do we have? No, we don't have a Patreon. I mean, we were looking at that. You know what sucks about all that shit? It's the tax fucking shit you got to worry about with all that stuff. It's a pain in the ass. That's why we've kind of held on to not monetizing yet because of the tax issue. I mean, I understand you have to generate a lot of money to sort of officially, file for taxes. But I mean, Patreon and all that, that's like an ongoing thing. And I don't know. I mean, buy me. There's all sorts of platforms out there where to buy me a coffee, and all sorts of stuff. I mean, we've looked at it. I mean, again, we don't like, asking for money. We don't. We never have. Again, this is just like a one-off thing. I mean that, and that's kind of. Do we even want to monetize? We do want to. We do want to monetize to a certain extent, but I find when you start monetizing or asking for money or whatever else, people kind of like flee because they don't want to be a part of that kind of shit, and I don't blame them. People go on about asking for money all the time for this and that. I don't blame people for being put off by that kind of stuff. That's probably what we're going to do, Safari, an unlisted stream. An unlisted stream for people who want to like donate, $5 or $10 or whatever. And the content, obviously, we're going to come up with. Yeah. I mean, we've been guest hosting events for our friend Keith Age, who's got a little thing on the go with a friend of his, and we did the first one and it wasn't bad. We may do another one on I think what is it, this September 21st. I think. Let me just see. The 29th. Sorry, September the 29th. It's a Monday night. We may do another one then. See how that goes. Anything that helps. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we I don't know. This thing keeps freezing. I don't know if it's time to get a new webcam or whatever. No. Anybody from Missouri in this group? You may have people from Missouri. I don't know. I know Michael, you're in Tennessee. I don't know if I don't know if there's anybody in Missouri. You never know. There might be. Maybe not currently in the chat, but a part of the membership here. the subs to the channel. There might be somebody from Missouri, right? Who knows? But yeah, again, we're working on that. We're working on a new merch store, and because I mean, a lot of the obviously a lot of the money we haven't generated a lot of money off the merch store. We've got some, but all of that goes right into paying paying for the show itself, right? Putting towards the StreamYard and whatever else. Because I mean, it's not cheap anymore. It's expensive. It is. I mean, we did have we did have sponsorship a couple years. And I mean, we had sponsorship blocks where people would pay like, $25 for a whole year or whatever else if you wanted us to promote your whatever, your band, your business, or blah blah blah. You wanted to pay like $25 a year for a block of advertising, and that's what we were doing. During the show breaks, we would play advertisements for these sponsors. That's good apple juice. But it's just that only goes so far. And since we've moved to, I mean, started simulcasting here on YouTube from New Visions Radio Network, the platform's changed because we used to do 2 breaks. We'd come in, do a short diatribe, and then we would take a break, and then come in with a guest or whatever else, and then we'd go until about 10 o'clock p.m. and then have a halfway break and basically play some more because we used to play music too during our breaks. We still do to a certain extent, right? But like I said, are we going to go back to that? I don't know if we're going to go back to that sort of format. I mean, it worked, but I think obviously attention spans are an issue now. I mean, a lot of people really don't have attention spans. I mean, you literally want to have a constant flow. You don't want to have those breaks. I mean, look at I like Ike there with the come on, let's get the show rolling. And it's understandable. I mean, you pop in here, you want to see the content or whatever else. Let's get the ball rolling. And no, Tim, it's not an IPA. Does that look like an IPA to you? No. That's apple juice. It's apple juice. Really good apple juice. So, yeah, anyways, that's that. We've got some more guests scheduled. We've got the host of Erie's Vault will be on the show on September 14th. Again, if you let me just Erie's Vault is a really, really cool show. I enjoy the content, and if you're into the paranormal, obviously, and just the outright unusual and whatever else that is under the paranormal umbrella, I suggest you guys check, subscribe to Erie's Vault. Here's there's the link in chat there. he's definitely a wealth of knowledge, and I really love his approach. I really love his approach. Super nice guy. I had the pleasure of being on his show for a little bit, and so doing the favor, returning the favor, and having him on as a guest to sort of get everyone up to speed about Erie's vault. I mean, vault. Super 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 cool. Okay. So yeah, he's coming on the 14th of September, and October 5th. Let's see. October 5th, we are having Richard Palmazano and Peter Rowe on the show to talk about their new book. They got a new book out. Let me just get a link for that. Hold on, where are we? All right, let me just pull it up here. And anyways, the name of the book, is called The Complete Paranormal Investigation Handbook, a comprehensive guide for ghost hunters, compiled and written by Richard Palmazano, our really good friend Richard Palmazano, and Peter Rowe, who is in the Searcher group. So yeah, let me just and here I think it's available on Amazon too. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure, but it's let me see. I don't know if it is or not. I'm sure it is. Everything's available on Amazon as an ebook and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Yeah, there we go. So here's the link for Richard's book. There you go. What the hell? It went in two, which is kind of stupid, but hold on. I'll get a shortened version of that link. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Do not know why that came out the way it did, but let's get rid of that. We don't need that stupid there. There we go. So there's the link there. That should work. Let me see. Does it work? Yeah, it works. So yeah, there it is right there. It is a book. They're coming on the October 5th to chat about that and more. And I mean, if there's anybody out there that knows anything about the, how to investigate the paranormal, it's coming from a guy, like a combined two guys that have combined of 80 years almost. 80 years of investigating the paranormal. Richard himself, back in the 70s. The late 70s started investigating the paranormal. And, we're talking about theories, based on theories and experimentation and all sorts of stuff. I mean, Richard is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to looking at and dealing with the paranormal. So always great to have him on. It's rare, right? No cuts, no edits. No, I mean, yeah. Well, we all know, the stuff that you see on TV and hear on much of YouTube. It's not meant to really show you true investigations. It's all cut. It's all entertainment purposes. For entertainment purposes. I mean, if, again, the attention span. I mean, people wouldn't sit. They won't sit and watch you investigate for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours without you cutting it to shit. I mean, it has to be cut for people to watch. I mean, this is what I mean. If you truly want to learn about the paranormal, you have to sit through that shit and endure it. Take notes. It might be boring, but you know what? You learn. Fresh apple juice. Steve, thanks for the pictures. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, that's cool, man. Hold on. What's this here? Get rid of this. I mean, doing this show, broadcasting this show, we've been doing it since 2008, and there was when we started, there was quite a few shows. I mean, not massive amounts, but I mean there were shows, podcasts and radio shows. Of course, the main one being Coast to Coast. But then you had your smaller shows and, so on and so on. And they weren't all great. There were some really cool ones. But the thing is, most of them would kind of concentrate on bringing in people who were popular within the paranormal at that time. The Jason Hawes and whatever. Brian Harnwas. Run, dude, run. I mean, we had them all on the show. We had them all on the show. People from Taps to Factor Fiction. What is it? Factor? Yeah, faked. I can't remember. What's his name? Josh. I forget his name. Destination, whatever. I was supposed to do a guest speaking event with him actually a while ago, and think that event kind of fell through, which is kind of sad because it would have been nice to meet him. Josh Gates. I was supposed to do a guest speaking engagement with him at a pretty big theater here in the area. And this is when he was just really getting to be known, to be honest. I mean, people knew him, but he wasn't quite popular then. But, I mean, but is that what the paranormal is all about? No, it's not. I mean, these people are like, if you will, fucking, personalities, like people that are on these TV shows. And they're really, honestly, aren't the people that are really doing the hard work, the leg work, the ground-breaking work. They're not. And I've always been about, bringing those people into the forefront. The ones behind the scenes that are doing the hard work, the research, the leg work. you know. And over the years, we've found some people that you know, they might not be as popular as, you know, the Josh Gates and the Jason Hawes and whatever else, and whatever's going on now, like on YouTube with these, you know, these paranormal shows. Like, you know, who cares? I mean, what are you bringing that others haven't already brought? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, your production might be a little prettier, but that's about it. It's all been done before. You just happen to be the flavor of the month. You know, and before you know it, you'll be fucking sitting on that, you know, the convention sort of circuit, and that's your fucking bread right there, because you're not on TV anymore. You might have a podcast or whatever. That's not what the paranormal is all about. I mean, there's not much money in the paranormal. Oh, Greg's a great guy. Greg, you know, we've had Greg and Dane on the show a few times in the past. In fact, I remember Greg when he was a part of Ghost Hunters Incorporated, Ghost Inc. You know, way before the Planet Weird years started, and Hillier and all that. You know? Great people. I mean, she was Dana was a part of the Girly Ghost Hunters here in Canada on the TV show. Girly Ghost Hunters? And then, you know, she met Greg, and you know, obviously they got together, and now they're doing their thing. Really cool. I mean, but you know what? I loved. I think what I. Yeah, yeah. Ben. We didn't have Ben on the show. Was it? Yeah, actually, it was Ben. No, it wasn't Ben that we had on the show. It was. Oh. Okay, let me just. We had Austin Porter on the show. That's right. We had Austin Porter on the show a while ago. I think this was when the show first started. We had him on the show, and that was pretty cool. Actually, you know, that's another thing. That's another thing that we're going to start doing is throwing a lot more archives back up here on the YouTube channel. I mean, we've got so many archives to work with. So I will be doing that. I will be getting a lot more of the archives, the Nocturnal Vault opened up again, and some fresh, well, not fresh, but fresh archives for you guys to devour. Some of our older shows. You know, I mean, it's we've had quite a gambit of different people on the show, and not always paranormal, but mostly paranormal. I mean, we've had actors on the show that aren't necessarily have anything to do with paranormal, but have paranormal sort of interest, like David Hess from, you know, Last House on the Left, who was on the show a couple times. You know, to talk about his fascination with the paranormal and so on and so on. You know, he was on the show. Who else? Oh God, there's a whole bunch of people. So many. We've had Alana Miles has been on the show. Black Velvet. I can't. That sucked. She was on the show. She was because she was hosting. She hosted the paranormal show produced by my really good friend Stephen Rambelow, who's no longer with us, sadly. But he did. If you guys have never watched the show, I mean, it's called Beyond, and Ron Jeremy. Yeah, actually, he's got a few paranormal experiences to share. But Ron Jeremy, yeah. But he Beyond was a great show. I mean, I do believe they showed it in the U.S. on Hulu and a few other channels down there. And it was controversial. I mean, especially one episode I remember. Stephen had dove into human mutilation, which is a part and parcel with cattle mutilation, something the UFO sort of community would kind of frown upon because they didn't like that kind of attention and that. But the reality is, it was there, and there was a lot of sort of cases that that would make you wonder what exactly is this all about? This is crazy, right? Let's see. I'll put this here. I'm gonna go for maybe another half an hour to an hour. We'll see how things go. But again, you guys are more than welcome to pop in. Don't be bashful. Yeah, so I will be over the next little while. Probably Thursday. I will probably, put in some more archives. Idea. The light bulb is on. But anyhow, and the week leading up to our first episode, the season premiere, David McRae, who is a director and extremely talented voice man. I mean, this guy is just incredible. Really, really, really cool, and a super horror fan. I mean, this guy loves things like Halloween and Halloween. I love Halloween. I'm a big Halloween fan, and Bob Clark's a Black Christmas and Nightmare on Elm Street. He's made so many fan-made movies, and I'm telling you, man, these things are incredible. The guy does a great job, especially the Halloween ones. He put together a documentary back in 2009 called Breathing Port Robinson. And basically, he was trying to understand a lot of what he was trying to explain what had happened to them during their time in this house on Port Robinson Road. That the claims that it was haunted and all sorts of shit. They had a few things that happened to them, and including some EVPs and so on and so on. And he brought in people for this documentary to kind of explain to him, okay, what's going on, and including me. I came in. I really wish he had it available, and I can understand right now because he doesn't want to give away too much about the movie, the premise of the movie, which is going to be called The House on Port Robinson Road. It's in development right now. It's going through funding. I think he's about 85% or close to that, anyways, to that point. To go into production, which is cool because I've been waiting since 2009 for this movie to get out there. I know he's had trouble in the past getting it funded, but it looks like finally the time is there. to get it out there. And oh man, I can't wait till he completes it. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm in fact last night I announced that I will be working on a feature called the Tremaine House. And it's going to start hopefully shooting in the spring of 2026. And hopefully it'll be up and ready by the fall of next year. And based on true events. So I'm looking forward to that too, like getting that out there. Again, it's been a project of mine on the go for quite a while, and just working on the script as we speak. About three-quarter. Well, I shouldn't say three. About a quarter way through the script. I mean, the story's different, so getting a script written out of this whole experience is it's a unique process. So that's about a quarter of the way through, and I'm hoping to have it finished by the fall. And if so, then I'm the ideal time to shoot this is I would like to shoot this in the fall, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know if I want to wait till the fall of next year to shoot it. I'd rather shoot it in the spring, but who knows? I mean, if it's not viable to shoot it in the spring, I will shoot it in the fall, right? And then quite possibly have it ready for maybe a Christmas release, but I just have it ready for the fall. But like I said, we'll see how things go, right? We'll see how things go. The link's there at the top of the chat. If you'd like to pop in, by all means, you're more than welcome to come in. And let's just see. And I will get that. Get that ready. The chat is quiet now. Things have gotten quiet. 8 people. Okay, let me open this up. Let me open this up a little. And I want to quite possibly for Halloween, we're going to do something a little different for the Halloween show here. Let me just post that. There we go. Get rid of that. And we're trying to get the masses, the nocturnal masses, to give us their stories, experiences with the paranormal, something frightening, something that that you experience that is truly frightening, right? Hello, sir. How are you? Can you hear me?
Hey,
How you doing, Steve?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's
Can
going
you
on
hear
with
me?
sound?
Huh?
What's going on in a minute?
Oh, we lost him. Okay, let me just put this up here. Let's make sure this is up here. That's looking good. So who's in chat? Who's left in chat? Get this up and going there. There we go. There we go. We'll go for another half an hour to an hour. Yeah, we'll go to about 2:30, I suppose. 2:30, 7:30 UK time. Get that out of the way. But I mean, things are going to change when we start monetizing the show for the upcoming season. Because I mean that's basically what we're going down towards. No, I could hear you, Steve. No, I could hear you loud and clear when you came up. I could hear you. So let's see here. Get rid of that. And it's interesting because having Dave McRae on, David just did a let me see if I can find the vid. Dealing with a lot of the. Where are you, Dave? There you are. And so quite literally, he's asking his audience, and he's got quite a lot of followers. I mean, he's got about 30,000 subscribers. And quite literally, he's asking his audience about the ghost hunting shows on YouTube. Are they real or fake? And I don't necessarily I wouldn't necessarily say they're fake or they're real. I don't think either or. I think if anything, if anybody knows realistically, a lot of these ghost hunting shows on YouTube, especially on YouTube and other social media platforms, are for, and they should be listed as for entertainment purposes only. Because I mean, that's strictly what it is. Because they're not going to put something up there, and like Ryan had mentioned earlier, they're not going to throw the 3 or 4 hours of edited material in there because people would be bored to shit. So they got to make it interesting, right? So I mean, just like the TV shows, they got to make them interested. Exactly, formalized, and it's edited. It's edited down to the parts that kind of like, they give you a glimpse that something might be going on. Is it paranormal? And then they give you this heading, on YouTube, real ghost found, or we encountered something very ghostly, and it's really nothing. Right? It could be the smallest little thing. Oh, look at the cat balls. Lights are going off. Cat balls. They're lighting up. Quick, we've got a ghost here. Wow. Very interesting, isn't it? But I mean that is how the state of it, this sort of format's been for years. I mean, 100 years. Parlor tricks have been a part of the paranormal since day one, because people know how to literally make money off this and garner attention. And YouTube, it's like the subscribers and the likes, and the more you get of that, the more monetization you're gonna get, right? The more money, people are gonna. Oh, this is so cool! Don't stop. Here's like $10,000, right? But that's the way it is. It's always been like that, So here's Dave kind of talking about it. I'll bring it up here. Why not? I'm going to bring it up here because we're going to have Dave on soon. The 7th. And to give you an idea, for those who have not seen Dave before or heard him, here's Dave talking about ghost hunting shows on YouTube.
Up last night during my live show, during the Q&A portion. And as I was talking a bit about it, I thought to myself, this would make a great standalone video. And it's relevant because as of shooting this video, I am currently in development on a feature-length psychological horror drama with supernatural and paranormal elements inspired by true events from my second year of college.
So again, that is, I love the freeze frame. That is that in development that he's talking about is called The House on Port Robinson Road.
And so I have a bit of experience in this area, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump on and give my thoughts officially on this topic. And also let me say before I dive deep into it, I'm a believer in this kind of thing. I mean, if you were to ask me, are you a believer? I would say, well, yes, I am. I mean, there's nuance to that, but yes, I am. But I also believe that more often than not, there are reasonable explanations for unusual occurrences.
See, there you go. Somebody who is thinking logically. I mean, a lot of us believe something's going on, but a lot of it, a bulk of what's going on is, very explainable. And again, when you get into a lot of these shows on YouTube that will say, oh, look, I've got real, evidence of the paranormal, blah, blah, blah. It's just basically clickbait. Really, because if science can't explain it, then how the fuck can you? You can't, right? But a lot of people don't know that. They just figure, well, hey, this guy's an expert, look what's happening. It looks real to me. I mean, how can he's not lying to us, right? It's like, come on. It's like a salesman trying to sell you something. No different. No different at all. It's the same scenario. The very same scenario.
And I also think it's important to remember that having a belief in something is not evidence of that something's existence. You can have a belief in anything. The belief isn't the evidence, right? And we have to remember that. Having said all that, so not too long ago, somebody asked me and said, Dave, do you believe in all those paranormal YouTube shows, right? All those channels, those top 5 this, top 10 that, these big YouTube channels with these guys and gals who are ghost hunting and, seeking out abandoned places and all that kind of stuff. And I've watched a number of them, probably not all of them, but I've watched a number of them, some of the bigger ones. And I've watched enough of them to get the idea, to get the vibe, to see the pattern, of every episode. And of course, I remember those shows, back in the day, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventurers, Paranormal State. I mean, all these types of shows that they were talking about, right? Do you believe in any of this kind of stuff? Like, do you believe they're really experiencing what they experience? And I said, well, if you want my honest thoughts, my honest opinion, I would say no. I would say 90% of it, at the very least, is fabricated, sensationalized, and performative.
See, I would even go higher than him. He said 90%. I would say 99.9% of it is entertainment value, and that's it. I mean, it's that's the paranormal. Let's be realistic. A lot of what, like, maybe 1%, that 0.1%, whatever, is what science can't explain. Currently can't explain, and that's the way I look at the paranormal. I mean, it's only a matter of time before science can sort of give you an idea of what you're looking at. Right? That's not to say that it's going to be the correct sort of scenario or whatever, because I mean, let's face it, science too is man-made. It's fallible, right? It's just as fallible as anything else that's man-made, including religion, and politics. But I mean, it's Dave's right on here. Like, I mean, this is let's go on.
And that's not to say that, there isn't some of it that might be real. But no, I don't believe in largely the vast majority of what they're selling. And they said, okay, well, if that's the case, then why should we believe you in regards to your experience at the house on Port Robinson Road? And I thought, that's a good question. And I sat there and I thought for a minute and I said, well, here's the difference. Here's something to keep in mind in regards to my experience and what we see today in the modern era of ghost hunting. I hate that term because it sounds so cheesy, but
It does.
that's what it is. But the number one difference between today and 25 years ago, when I was in my second year of college, is that today there's an audience. Mm-hmm. Today, these are content creators who have an audience they have to answer to.
Yep.
25 years ago, there was no audience. There was no social media. There was no YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or, Twitter. They didn't exist. 25 years ago, Bill Clinton was still president. It was a year before 9/11. There were no smartphones. The hot cell phone on the market was the Nokia phone that looked like a small brick. You remember those? I had one. It was a very different era. The internet was basically ICQ, MSN Messenger, Hotmail chat, and Yahoo. I mean, that was the internet.
Yep.
A very different era. There was no audience. We kept going back to the house on Port Robinson Road, not because we had to get the likes up, the views up, the algorithm up, and the subs up, or to appease our sponsors. Well, no, none of that existed. Mm-hmm. We kept going back to the house on Port Robinson Road because stuff was really happening.
Yep.
And we weren't doing it for anybody else but ourselves. We were broke college kids living off microwave dinners, living in residence, that were enamored with this house because of the experience or experiences. And so that's one of the big difference is that today, and I'm not saying that everything is fake with these shows and YouTube channels. I'm not saying that. But anybody who's been ghost hunting knows that 90% of the time, nothing happens.
Hey,
and
Joe.
then there's that 10% where something does happen. And then even within that 10%, only 2 or 3% of that 10% might be really cool or wow or something memorable.
See, again, I would up that percent. He's sticking to the 90%. I would definitely say 99.9%, right? of what's going on is just very explainable. And yeah, it's just it's just insane. And I as much I, like anybody else, would love to know exactly what's going on. There are people that have weird experiences and they can't explain it, and I think they're afraid to try to find somebody to try to explain it to them because they think they're crazy. Well, I don't want them thinking I'm crazy. And that's a bulk of what I get. I mean, people approach me and say, "Look at it. I don't want you to think I'm crazy, but I had this incident happen, and I don't know who to talk to. I mean, I just as you're not crazy. You just don't understand what's going on, and all you need is somebody to help you explain or show you exactly what's going on. I mean, that's not always the case. You're not always going to be able to explain it, but for the most part, you will be. I mean, if you're rational, in your approach with this, you will be able to explain a bulk of it, through experience or whatever knowledge. I mean, that's the one thing that you gather over the years is knowledge. Knowledge through experience. Oh, I remember I was at this house and this happened, and this is kind of similar to that, and that was this, and you kind of compare it and you go, hey, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I keep going back to a case that I had done a long time ago, and it's a sad reality. There's a lot of people that are rooked and exploited because they just don't know. Like a lot of things in life. I mean, people are taken for a ride because they don't know. They don't have the information. They don't have the correct information. They don't have the warnings. They're just like, okay, who do I talk to? I mean, it's such a gray area. It's a really gray area. I mean, I don't know who to turn to. Do I turn to the police? I mean, they're gonna look at me like I'm fucking crazy. So then they go out and they search. It's like somebody who's lost a loved one. And one of the first things that they do is they go search out a fucking psychic, and hoping that psychic medium can kind of make contact with that dead loved one and to sort of put them at ease and say, oh, everything's okay, I'm fine, and blah blah blah. And they use that, they utilize that because they know you're vulnerable. They know it. They're a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's like a lot of the paranormal. Because they know that when somebody comes out of the woodwork and they truly need help, they know that you're vulnerable. They know that they can exploit the situation. And it's sad, but that's human nature. Human nature dictates that exploitation. And it's sad. So anyways, this particular case, an elderly couple. Hey, Neil, good to see you, buddy. And, this couple, they were confused and frightened because they had what they thought was, something unusual happening in their house, a strange noise that they could not explain, and it was really frightening them. So, like many people do, they don't know who to turn to. They look online, or they look at maybe somebody referred them. I don't know, whatever. However it went down, they got in contact with this husband and wife team that said, oh yeah, we can come into your home and we can definitely help you out there, no problem. You know, they get in there, they get into the house, and the elderly couple look, and we're having this, you know, noise reoccur, and it's very frightening, and we don't know what's causing it. My wife is frightened. She can't sleep. Can you help us, please? Absolutely. Let us do our mojo, and then we'll get back to you. So they do their mojo, the reading, they're doing the reading. Yeah, okay, whatever. But what? And then they come back to the couple there, you know, and say, you definitely have some sort of malevolent activity going on in your home. The key word is malevolent. So when the elderly couple's like, well, what do you mean malevolent? What do you mean? What? Well, it's almost demonic-like. Oh, there's the word, demonic. Demonic-like. Yeah, you have some demonic activity going on in your home. Okay, well, how do we get rid of this demonic activity? I mean, please help us. Because now they've said the D word, and now they're thrusted into this fucking pit of horror, hell, and they need help getting out. And these people are their saviors. Oh yeah, so your house just needs to be cleansed, and we'll cleanse your house, and that should take care of the problem. Oh, great, perfect. I mean, do what you got to do. Okay, well, you know it's going to cost you $8,000. 8,000. Oh, I don't care. You know, as long as it helps us, as long as it gets rid of what's going on. Wonderful. So write out that check for $8,000. There you go. The couple do their fucking mojo. Realistically doing fuck all. Because they know it's not a demonic fucking aspect. They probably know what's going on, but they just, hey, we're going to exploit this situation and make some money off it. Easy money. And that's what it usually is. Easy money. So, you know, then you know, they do their mojo. They cleanse the house, supposedly. And, you know, they leave. And, you know, because, hey, they don't take into consideration that this elderly couple live there. They can't go anywhere. That's their home. And now they're frightened as shit, but they have a sense of, you know, relief that, oh, thank God. These people, they cleansed our home. Yes, we had to pay $8,000, but who cares as long as it takes care of the situation. Guess what? It doesn't work. They continue to hear the strange noises coming from the basement. And they become increasingly worried more because what? I thought this was dealt with. We spent $8,000 and it's still happening. Did you get a receipt? Oh, they didn't give her a receipt. Oh, here we go. So when they contacted these people again, they didn't respond. Of course, conveniently, they didn't respond to the request to say, look, whatever you did here hasn't worked. You know, can we have our money back? I mean, your services have not helped what you claimed they would help. So what do? They continue to try to make contact with this couple, and obviously it's to no avail. And so what do? They talk to their lawyer. They get the lawyer involved, and they tell the lawyer the situation. Look, this is what happened. We invited this couple into our house to help us with the situation, and we paid $8,000. It was guaranteed to work, and blah blah blah, and it's not working. It's still and the lawyer isn't stupid, obviously. Well, look at you've been had. It's plain as day. You've been had. So, the couple, they take this couple to court to get back their money. They win the case. They get their money back. And the couple that charged them, obviously there's a black mark on their existence because of what they've done. The couple was then referred to us. And I remember talking to the man, and he told me exactly what happened as I explained it to you guys. And I go, wow, incredible. Unfortunately, that happens more than you know it. So, went into the house. I said, we probably don't even have to carry out an investigation. But what we'll do is I'll come into your home, and I'll have a look around, take some base readings, and kind of give you a gist of what I think might be going on or what might not be going on. And of course, I remember getting in there, and they told me, they reiterated, okay, this is where the noise is coming from. This is what's happening. And it mostly happens, in the evening into the overnight. And I'm like, it doesn't happen more than that. Well, if it does, we don't really notice it. It's just, mostly at night. So, okay, your senses are a little bit more open because, it's darker. You don't have as much, noise pollution around you, blah, blah, blah. Not that it really makes a huge difference. It makes some difference because, you don't have that distraction outside. So I went downstairs into the basement, unfinished basement, and I took some base readings. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing out of the ordinary. And I asked them. I said, okay, can you go upstairs, run your water upstairs in your bedroom, run the water, go downstairs, run the water in your kitchen, run the water, and then turn it off. So upon doing that, one thing I noticed, one thing that came right away, was the fact that the pipes were reacting to the water being shut on and, turned on and shut off, right? Plumbing, yeah. And there was a bracket. There's a series of brackets where it was attached to, the support beams above. They were loose. So what was happening? It was one of them was banging on both the beam and the bracket. So it was making a loud noise when it was like reacting. So I brought them down, and I got one of the guys to do the same thing, run the water, turn it off, run the water, turn it off. And I show them, I said, here is your demon. Here is your demon. This is your demon right here. And they're like, oh my God, are you serious? Yeah, here it is right here. Is this the noise that you're hearing? Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. So all it was just a matter of fastening those brackets back up to the support beams. And that was it. That's all it took. And they never heard the noise again. So just imagine being taken for $8,000 and somebody telling you that it's a malevolent or demonic sort of entity. Oh man, I'm telling you. Exactly, Dazzy. How you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. But you know, it's amazing. You know, something simple. But this is the thing. This is the thing, because I mean, a lot of these people that go out there and supposedly investigate the paranormal haven't got the slightest clue. When you investigate the paranormal, it's not going there looking for fucking ghosts. It's not going there looking for evidence. It's going in there to explain what is explainable. And 99.9 of what's going on is explainable. There is, there's phenomena out there that, you know, we can't explain. Right? Or you may not be able to explain, but somebody else may be able to. But that's the thing. I mean, that's all it takes. Rather than, you know, recording it and saying, oh my God, I got a ghost on fucking camera. Here you go. Fucking throwing it up on YouTube and saying, I got proof of the paranormal.
Well, those are not odds that you can rely on for a television show or for a YouTube channel. That's not good. It's got to be like 80-20 here, man. People are tuning in because they want to be entertained. They see you in the, 30-second teaser at the beginning of your show going, oh my God, whoa. Nobody acts like that, by the way. I mean, maybe there are some people that act like that, but when something really profound happens, when it's not performative, when it's not sensationalized, when it's not dramatized, when something really happens, I mean, really happens, that is truly unexplainable, that is surreal, that catches you off guard, you're far more quiet than anything else. You might be scared. You might be spooked. You might be like, oh my God, I need to leave, or, whatever the case is. But nobody is running down the hall like they're being chased by Jason Voorhees. I mean, This is just performative and sensationalized for the sake of entertainment.
There you go.
And so,
exactly.
Again, I mean, I have trouble believing, and I've watched these shows. I've watched enough of them to understand the patterns, to get used to the personalities. Yeah. And it's, and again, I'm not saying that there isn't anything that happens that isn't authentic, but 90% of it is for the cameras because they have to. Real ghost hunting is one of those boring, would probably be an extremely boring show. Do you know what I mean? It would. And so, yeah, I don't believe it at all. And so and again, I can't make anybody believe me, but that's the big difference between my story and my experience and what we see today in the world of social media and all these, paranormal shows. Another thing to keep in mind too is that 25 years ago, although programs like Photoshop and digital editing did exist, they were not in the hands of your everyday average consumer. I mean, those were premium programs and software, extremely hard to come by and access. And so manipulating photos and video and audio, although not impossible, was far more difficult to do back then. Today, I mean, a 6-year-old has Photoshop and digital editing on their iPhone. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's you don't know what to believe today. And sometimes you can tell because it's really bad because they don't know what they're doing. but it's very difficult today. And now with AI and everything, and it's just crazy. But 25 years ago, a very different world. I mean, we used analog cassette tape recorders and 8mm camcorders and disposable cameras. Last night on my show, I said disposable digital cameras. I don't know why I used the word digital. I just meant disposable cameras, real film, right? And whatever you got in the photograph is what you got in the photograph. Whatever was captured on the audio or the video was captured in camera, or actually there in the space on the audio tape. It just is what it is. I mean, we would take photos and then we'd take the film over to Walmart and get it developed, and we'd open it up and we'd look through it, and whatever was there was there. And so a very, very different era. Today it's it's very different. We'll just say that. So again, I can't force anybody to believe my story, of course, but if you're asking me what makes my story and the experience at the house on Port Robinson Road different than just the modern day stuff we see today, that's what makes it different. The things I talked about today are what makes it different. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McCrae. Jump into the comment section and let me know your thoughts on anything I had to say here. But also, do you watch those paranormal shows? What do you think of them? What are some of your favorites? Do you believe it fully? Do you have to?
So there you go. There you go. There you go. That's to give you what Dave's all about, and he will be on the show season premiere, season 18 premiere on September 7th. So there's a little glimpse of what to expect when he's on the show. I mean, the guy's phenomenal. Again, he's working on his in development film, The House on Port Robinson Road. And of course, he is a voice actor. He's got many awards for his voice acting. Commercials, like animated TV shows, you name it. He's done it. Incredible. So we're looking to have him. He was the very first guest that the first official guest that we've had on the show. And I got to get that. Actually, I should get that archive up so you guys can listen to it. So yeah, and so much more. I mean, we got so many archives that I got to get back up online so you guys can experience them. I mean, we've had some pretty intriguing people on the show over the years, and not so intriguing people on the show, guests over the years. But I mean, for the most part, they've all been pretty cool in their own way. So yeah, that will be, like I said, over the next little while, I will be pumping up some archives to beef up the Nocturnal vaults, so you guys have an idea of how we've done over the years and how silly I sound. But anyways, okay. So I'm going to call it, guys. Once again, keep your eyes open for a possible drive to help us with the new season. If you guys would love to and able to donate to the show, we absolutely would appreciate it, because like I said, it's things are getting really expensive. But anyways, we would love to continue to provide you with all this wealth of paranormal stuff and so on and so on. And plus, we want to hear your stories. I mean, we're gonna do a show based on your stories, guys. I mean, if you guys have a story that you'd love to share with us, let us know. I mean, I'm sure you guys have all had some sort of weird encounter or experience that you guys have had over the years. We would love to hear them and kind of share them with all the other listeners out there in Nocturnal Frequency Land. So until then, guys, take care, and we'll see y'all later. Adios.